Welcome to the Nog Vlog. Come take a tour with us aboard the Carnival Dream. We're going to start our tour at the very top of the ship in the forward section of Deck 15. This is one of two levels of the Serenity Adult Only Retreat, 18 and up. You can see it does extend down to Deck 14 on the starboard side. The bar is located down below. We'll show you that in a moment. But up top, you've got plenty of seating, different styles. You've got the clamshells, you've got hammocks. There's one on each side. Each side also has a whirlpool, and of course regular chairs and chase loungers. It does get really windy up on Deck 15, so they've got some of their drink menus attached to the seating, which is nice. You don't see that anywhere else on the ship. The bar service here is a little bit slower than down on the Lido, but they do have really good refreshing drinks. You can see you could head into some of the spa areas. We'll show you that in a moment. The front of the ship is great to watch sail away from ports as well as sunset, sunrises. I like to come up here when it's a little less busy to enjoy those. Seating on the other side is very similar. It's not hard to find a seat up here. You got the second whirlpool, as I mentioned, second hammock, and more clamshells. Yeah, it was rude of me not to pick up that pillow. On Deck 15, you have access to the two water slides of the ship. Spoiler alert, if you're looking for the ship coin on the Carnival Dream, we just passed it. So that's it for Deck 15. We're going to head down to Deck 14. Again, this is also part of the Serenity Adult Only Retreat. Here you have additional clamshells and some more shaded seating. It's a little bit less windy in this section as well. It's only on the starboard side of the ship. If you are looking to get one of the starboard Deck 12 balconies that are located in the forward section, keep in mind you will not have as much privacy as a standard balcony. In this section, you have the towel station for Serenity. It's specifically for Serenity, meaning you need to return these towels to this station. If not, you'll get dinged for $22. The bar is located down here. When we were here, there was only one bartender and two servers. It was not as fast as maybe on the Lido deck, so just be prepared. Through these doors will take us into the entrance of the Cloud 9 Spa for Deck 14. It's also located on Deck 12. So we'll show you both of those together. Before we actually go in to do the spa tour, we're going to stay on Deck 14 and head midship to a section that's actually not on the map. So the map you see on the screen is actually from Deck 12, just below. We'll take the stairs up. This is typically the solarium section on other ships. I know that's what it was called on the Freedom. No one really uses it, which is why they have their chase loungers all tied up here, but you can get some sun without any shade restrictions. On Deck 14 aft, so we're getting coming up from Deck 12, on the back of the ship, we've got the Dream Team basketball court. Shaquille O'Neal greets you as you come in. You can stand next to him to see how small you are. Of course, our pointer hand is no comparison. So it's a port day. Doesn't look like anybody using the basketball court, but you can simply go in and shoot some hoops if you'd like. On the port side of the basketball court is a shower in case you need a rinse off after playing. Returning to the forward section of Deck 14, you have one of two entrances to the Cloud 9 Spa. On Deck 14, they have most of the treatment rooms. This area contains the salon. It also contains the fitness studio, very kind, great staff at the Cloud9 Spa on this ship. We'll head down to deck 12. So just like deck 14 above, on deck 12 you can enter the Cloud9 Spa. It also has the gym, so this would be your entrance to the gym should you be looking to work out while you're on your trip. So this will be your main reception area for the Cloud9 Spa. You also have men's and women's locker rooms located across from the gym. Inside the gym, you've got a decent amount of equipment, plenty of free weights, ample number of treadmills, and a decent number of ellipticals as well as stationary bikes. Also on deck 12, you'll find the additional Cloud9 Spa accommodations that come at a cost, such as the thalassotherapy pool. There's steam baths and relaxing lounges that are all available for an additional price. The spiral staircase will take you down to deck 11, but before we do that, we'll stay and finish on deck 12 midship. That's where the mini golf section is located. Just choose your favorite color club, your favorite color ball. They do have different lengths of clubs, and cleaning wipes to clean the club and ball before and after use. Also on deck 12 midship and aft is the jogging track. Now 7 laps around this jogging track equal 1 mile. I recommend if you're up early, you need to get your steps in and the gym's not open, hit the jogging track. It's usually not very busy and you can catch the sunrise. So we'll jump to the very back of the ship and enter the aft elevator bank and stairwell area. On deck 12 is the Chef's Art Steakhouse. Meals here are $38 per person, and I heard good reviews from the people on our ship. We did not partake, but heard good things. One final time, we'll return to that spiral staircase from the spa. We'll head down from deck 12 to deck 11. Now the Cloud9 staterooms are available on deck 11 and deck 12. Majority of them are on deck 11, and you have that access directly to the spa. Now, we won't be doing a tour of any of the staterooms or the decks that are exclusive to staterooms like 7, 8, and 9 or 1 and 2 on this tour, but I wanted to show you again just how you had that back entry into the spa from deck 11. On deck 11, the forward elevators is where we'll start. We'll loop around the Dream Atrium. You'll have a hallway that takes you out towards the midship Lido area, and a similar hallway on the other side of the ship. Now, interestingly enough, you'll see a sign up here that says Waves and Waves Bar. Now, the pool in the Lido is called the Waves Pool. However, there is no longer a Waves Bar. That's all been upgraded many, many years ago. So interesting that they kept that sign there. So you can see deck 11 midship basically is kind of a balcony for the Lido area. These stairs will take you up to the waterworks area. Here on the port side, you've got table tennis. Through these doors here is the entrance to Camp Ocean. We're going to circle around the back of the ship and then take a look at Camp Ocean in a moment. You've got whirlpools on either side of deck 11 here midship. The windows you see here are the windows of Camp Ocean. Midship port side is the designated crew break area. There's not a lot of activity in this area, so it's a great location for them to put this. Back on the Breeze in July of 21, They used the forward and aft sections of deck 5, which prevented passengers from being able to walk fully around that promenade of the ship. One of our favorite spots in the morning was here at the aft section of deck 11 on the port side. These seats were really comfortable and you could check out the sunrise as we were headed south through the Gulf of Mexico. Get a sneak peek down to deck 10 of the sunset pool. We'll check that out in a moment. Now, if you remember, just above was the steakhouse. Come on, open up. There we go. On deck 11, just under that, is the first section of what's called the Gathering. Now, that's the name of the actual Lido buffet restaurant area. During lunchtime, this section is turned into what's called Pasta Bella, where you can create custom pasta dishes. Quite the opposite of the port side that we just showed you. Deck 11 aft on the starboard side is the smoking section. So if you like your breath and clothes and house and car to smell disgusting, this is the section for you. You can see beautiful Cozumel, Mexico out in front of us. Ahead is the other whirlpool in the midship of deck 11. This is actually the only whirlpool that we used on the trip. Looks like we've got some showers and bathrooms on this side. And if we make our way around the corner, you'll see the bandstand. Now this is where the DJ will play his or her music, as well as the artist that plays the steel drums. And we've alluded to this center section of the midship being Camp Ocean here on deck 11. This did just recently open up. While we didn't have Charlie with us on this particular trip, we did scroll through the activities posted on the Hub app for Camp Ocean, and it looked like a lot of fun. So we've got an upcoming trip on the Carnival Vista in May with Charlie that she doesn't know about. So we're excited for that, and it looks like she'll have a lot of fun here. We begin deck 10, the Lido deck on the aft of the ship. You've got a pair of whirlpools surrounding the sunset pool. Sharing that namesake is the Sunset Bar. It does have a television, so if the casino bar is full and you're trying to watch a particular sporting event, try up here on deck 10. Next, you'll see Pizzeria de Capitano. You can get pizza 24 hours a day here, or have it delivered to anywhere on the ship. The restrooms located here can also be accessed from the Gathering, the Lido buffet, from the other side. For an additional cost, you can get some fresh seafood from the Seafood Shack. I always love to get a lobster roll every trip. They do indeed make it fresh when you order, so be prepared for a little bit longer wait here than other places. So now we're finally entering the Gathering. This is the Lido buffet. They serve a early continental breakfast, then a normal breakfast, a late riser's breakfast, a lunch, a dinner, and then usually late night, 12 to 1, they have a small section for anybody that might have a small craving. There's numerous drink stations that provide water, tea, lemonade, breakfast juices, and coffee. On both sides of the Gathering, you'll find frozen yogurt and soft serve ice cream. Now we're filming this during breakfast time, so they do have a custom omelet station located here in front of us. This turns into the Mongolian Walk during lunchtime, where you can get delicious custom Asian stir fry. We're looping back around towards the aft of the gathering buffet. Your standard buffet would be in this section to the left. In the middle is the dessert station. For breakfast, they've got pastries, and at lunch and dinner, they've got cakes, pies, and cookies. And this omelet station will turn into the deli, serving hot and cold subs for lunch, dinner, and late night. Heading back towards the midship, you have the very popular Carnival staple, Guy Fieri's burger joint. At the center of the Lido deck is the Waves pool. Serving up breakfast and tacos for lunch is the Blue Iguana Cantina. Here you see some huevos rancheros we had on our first sea day. Drinks on the Lido deck are provided by two bars, the first of which is Blue Iguana Tequila Bar. If you're in need of a towel on the Lido deck, you can check one out here at the towel station. And they also have life jackets in case you need one. The second bar is the Red Frog Rum Bar. When the action gets low on the Lido deck, they tend to close the tequila bar, but they'll keep the rum bar open. And you can order anything off of either menu if you want. If there's a scheduled deck party, the crew will clear out the loungers so that can take place. Otherwise, the Seaside Theater will show a couple of movies each night. So that wraps things up on the Lido deck. Decks 9, 8, 7, and 6 are all staterooms. So we don't have any of those for this video. And regrettably, the same goes for the Fun Shops and Cherry on Top, which comprise the forward sections of Deck 5, our next deck that we're going to tour. We did, however, sneak some footage of the casino when we first boarded the ship when it was empty. For anyone curious, the table minimums in the casino are all $5. I think the minimum for blackjack in the casino is $6. I'm not 100% sure because they only offer 6 to 5 payouts on blackjack, and I don't play that, nor should you, unless you're a sucker. This was one of the first cruises that eliminated smoking completely from the main casino. And it did not slow things down. It was busy as ever. Craps, again, $5 minimum and 2 times max odds. We'll continue touring Deck 5, but I want to make a quick note about the signage on the ship. I saw a lot of people confused. That bottom row with the arrow pointing down, those are all locations that are on Deck 4. But people would read that and think that those locations were in front of them or behind them, and it caused a lot of confusion. Just past the casino is the Fun Hub with a bank of computers for internet access while you're at sea. You can log into a plan that you've already purchased, or you can purchase a day pass or even a plan for the entire cruise, and a printer available for boarding passes in case you're flying home. Here you'll find the midship elevators and stairway. We stayed on Deck 6, not too far from this stairwell. It was an easy transit up and down to all the action here on Deck 5, so we highly recommend that, and we'll probably look to do that in future cruises just to be close to all the action. We're now entering Ocean Plaza, and outside here you'll see what's called the Lanai. Ocean Plaza is where they do a lot of trivia, they have bands at night, musical performances. You've got Java Blue Cafe for specialty coffee. This was a standard bar in the afternoon and evenings when Ocean Plaza would get busy. Then, of course, you have the famous Alchemy Bar. Great refreshing drinks here. Be sure to check out our video where we try every single drink on the menu. Again, Ocean Plaza is kind of where things come to life at night. It's a great place to meet up before dinner, after dinner. There's always a band or artist playing each night, and you can get great drinks from the Alchemy Bar. Behind the Alchemy Bar is some additional seating. When we traveled on the Carnival Breeze, this was actually the back entrance to the Red Frog Pub, which sadly this ship does not have. It's at the art gallery instead. However, I had heard rumors that the Red Frog Pub will be built here during their next dry dock. I mentioned the lanai earlier. That's the seating area directly outside Ocean Plaza. There's a pair of whirlpools on either side. And just to the right is Guy's Pig and Anchor Barbecue Smokehouse. You can see the seating for that here in this clip. Deck 5 has a area where you can walk around the entirety of the ship. It's called the Promenade. This is a view of the wake of the ship from the Promenade. And again, it allows you to walk all the way around Deck 5 and get some open air even though you're down below the Lido. More about that signage I talked about earlier. Knowing where the locations are, it all makes sense, but you could see someone that doesn't know their way around the ship would read this sign and think those locations were directly in front of them. You actually can go down to Deck 4 from this section right here. We'll see these stairs in just a few moments when we tour Deck 4. We're walking through Bonsai Sushi. This is an additional cost restaurant. Here you see the main entrance to the collection. That's the art gallery that we saw earlier behind Alchemy Bar. Now we're entering Caliente Dance Club. This also serves for karaoke earlier in the evenings. It is required you wear a mask in here, sip and cover when drinking. It is required to wear a mask on the dance floor as of January 22. It didn't stop us from having fun out on the dance floor though. This desk would be attended by someone from the fun shops at random times throughout the trip. So now we're entering Sam's Piano Bar, and the way the ship is designed, it's a little deceiving in thinking that you're in the normal main walkway right now to get even further back in the ship, but so you actually have to double back around this corner here. There's a more narrow opening that takes you to the aft Burgundy Lounge, which is the comedy lounge. Now, shows taking place here are capacity controlled. They do make you wear masks, of course, and you do have to maybe arrive a little bit early if you want to make sure you get a seat. Some of the shows were moved to the main Encore Theater on Deck 3. We'll show that a little bit later on. For the shows that did take place in here, they added additional chairs up front, right in front of the stage that you could sit in. Of course, they have a bar for bar service for your drinks. And if you ever actually were in here and needed to get out and not wanting to come through the front, there are a pair of doors on the back side that are open. You could actually come in through that way if you wanted to. I don't know if you could find a seat, but I used it when we arrived early and were seated early and I had to use the restroom. Rather than walking through the crowd of people, I just looped around through the outside promenade. The last thing to show you on Deck 5 is the Song. Now this is a small music venue. I believe it originally was used for karaoke, but they moved that to the dance club Caliente for a little bit wider spacing here during COVID. I did see a few performances scheduled for this venue, but we never attended. I'm kind of disappointed because it was always really pretty when we walked in. Time to head down to Deck 4. In the aft of the ship is the Scarlet Restaurant. This is one of the two main dining rooms. This is going to be the dining room for anyone that has a set dining time of either 6 p.m. or 8:15 p.m. This is also where you'll have port day breakfast and sea day brunch. You'll typically enter in, though, on deck 3 rather than here on deck 4. If you are entering on deck 3, you do have to make sure you come across on either deck 4, 5, or one of the ones above, and then come down the aft stairwell or aft elevators down to deck 3 or 4, because you cannot walk across from the front on deck 3 due to the galley being between the 2 restaurants. In the back of deck 4 is the warehouse arcade. One thing that I noticed on the Dream that I didn't notice on other ships was the artwork. It was very funky, very out there, very dream-like. I actually looked forward to turning a corner and seeing what new artwork was going to be there and just how crazy it was going to be. Club O2 was closed when we were doing our tour. They were open during the trip, but again, capacity controlled. I think they only had limited hours. Club O2 is for the older of the teenagers on the ship, and the neighboring Circle C for the younger teenagers. Funky. Hey, here's that stairwell we talked about. Our muster station was C4. It was quite explosive. This casino annex was originally intended to be a smoke-free casino, but now that the casino on deck 5 is also smoke-free, it's kind of moot to its purpose, but we did see people playing down here. This passageway leads to the elevators and stairwell that are midship. The other of the 2 main dining rooms on the ship, the Crimson Restaurant, served guests that selected anytime dining. For anytime dining, when you're ready to eat, you simply check in on the Hub app. They'll notify you when your table's ready. You come to the front on either 3 or 4, depending on what table number you have, and they'll take you right to your seat. Our average wait time from check-in to table ready was about 5 minutes, not long at all. The small library on the ship was used for a variety of functions on the trip, but none were any that we attended. Across the hall is the Rendezvous Lounge. It was closed when we were doing our tour, but you're not missing much. It's just a private area with seating for small get-togethers. We'll conclude deck 4 viewing the Dream Atrium and the gallery. Now this is the photo gallery that the Pixels photography team uses to display the photos that they've taken from the previous nights. They'll display the photos based on when they took them and where they took them, so pay attention to what's listed. I recommend coming each and every day, at least once a day, so you can figure out what photos you've already looked through. You can remember where you were when you took photos and find them easier. Unfortunately, they do not yet have the technology to have the photos go straight to your Hub app. Right here is a consultation area for the personalized photo sessions that you can have with the photographer. Here's an example of the pricing that was available to us in January 22. So beyond those doors at the end of the hallway is the Deck 4 access to the Encore main lounge. That's the theater where the playlist production shows are, as well as many other events that the cruise director hosts. The Encore main lounge has entrances on both sides on decks 3, 4, and 5. I do recommend visiting the photo gallery each and every day and taking a look at the Frame of Fame. What that is a daily rotation of photos that they've selected that if they're posted and you claim them, they're free. So again, above us are the fun shops. Now that contains the funnel store, which has carnival gear. You've got jewelry, liquor, watches, and the cherry on top, candy shop. But we'll continue down and conclude our full Carnival Dream ship tour on Deck 3. During our tour of Deck 4, you saw the main dining rooms, the Scarlet Restaurant in the aft and the Crimson Restaurant in the midship from the views of Deck 4. Again, the main entrance to the Crimson Restaurant, which is the midship anytime dining restaurant, will be accessed right here on Deck 3. But as we round the corner, you'll see the doors that you actually entered the ship on, and then guest services. There's also a kiosk that you can use to access your Sail and Sign account. I used this twice on our trip to add a couple extra gift cards, one physical, one electronic. You can easily do it there at the kiosk. So ahead you'll see the doors that allow you entrance to the Encore main lounge. When we filmed this, there was a function going on in the lounge. So not to disturb them, I didn't want to go inside and film, but I did want to show you what it looked like from each of the deck levels. Here's Deck 3 vantage point from a playlist production show. Here's Deck 4 for the Love and Marriage show. And some nosebleed seats during military appreciation on Deck 5. We'll circle around to the opposite hallway. You can access the Encore main lounge from the other set of doors. The restrooms are on this side of the ship. Before and after shows, this tends to be a really crowded area, so be forewarned. On the opposite side of Deck 3 from guest services, you've got the Carnival Adventures desk, helping passengers book excursions if they don't already have one booked. You can see some additional seating, additional pair of FunHub internet computers. We've got the Dream Bar and the Dream Atrium, still fresh with holiday decor here in the new year for 2022. With that, we conclude our tour of the Carnival Dream. If you've made it this far through the video, I could only assume you've got an upcoming trip on the Carnival Dream that you're super excited about. So I invite you to subscribe to our channel, check out all the latest dog vlog videos, and come take a trip with us.